welcome to episode 8 of the Movie Lighthouse, shining a light through the fog of film. My name's James.
I'm Laurie.
And I'm Wyndham.
Or are we?
Right.
Oh!
I have no idea what you were talking about. It's our Body Snatchers special today. We all excited?
Hell yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Right, well, believe it or not, after our mentions last month, we have mail. We got an email, so I'm going to read it out. Okay, it's from Jason.
Hi, Jason.
In Australia. All right, greetings, team. Currently listening to the latest episode, and all good so far. Thank you very much. Been watching Lost in Space and was actually quite impressed with it. Loved the use of actual physical vehicles and sets rather than copious amounts of CGI. Agree was a bit slower, but again think the use of actual sets and the interaction therein meant that the depth of the story stood up to being more realistic. I compare this to Star Trek, which is all CGI, which just bores me. Selections of the films reviewed in this episode were very what the fuck. But then I expect nothing less from Laurie. And listening to everybody trying to make sense of films that were obviously impossible to comprehend was actually quite funny. The adverts, what were they about? Looking forward to the reviews of Body Snatcher themed films. Donald Sutherland is a favourite actor of mine, and I love both Invasion and Puppet Masters. Other contenders for this section would be The Thing, both versions.
Yeah, definitely.
And also that version that included Nicole Kidman and Daniel Thingy, the latest James Bond, Daniel Craig. Oh, and how the heck can a possession-themed movie be a Body Snatchers?
Yeah,
It is on my wavelength.
And bearing in mind, he's just pointed out that we just walked straight past possibly the best Body Snatcher film ever.
That was a bit of a...
It was a bit of a faux pas.
That's hardcore. But, however, The Thing is massively on the menu, isn't it? That's got to come up. We'll squeeze that sucker in anyway.
Yeah, we've still got the years, remember. We've had a bit of a run of specials, but I think we'll probably get a year this month.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was Jason. Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
Cheers, Jason. Actually, so just say on his point there about real things in films over and above CGI. It is completely true. Obviously, when Jurassic Park came along and it was all like whoa, and everyone went nuts for it. Terminator 2, I think, was a big a beginning part of it, which kind of worked. But when it got so saturated, obviously the prequel films, the Star Wars film, it was just you suddenly realise, well, this is complete balls because your eye knows it's being lied to.
Yeah.
When you've got a small miniature model, obviously of the films that we kind of grew up in our time, like The Thing, Star Wars and all that, a small model with real lighting on it allows that imagination and that belief really to happen. But when you've got something where it's fabricated lighting and all that, no matter how good it is, I know it's getting better. I mean, Gravity really impressed me. I thought that was amazing, but you still kind of know you're being lied to.
It's kind of the point of doing things because you can, as opposed to doing things because you should.
Yeah.
So it's understanding where we can CGI this, and actually we can't tell the story without the CGI. That really takes us to another level.
Yeah.
And use CGI.
Yeah.
But if you don't need it, do it differently.
Please don't do it.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, because all the sets were real.
Yeah.
But obviously the rabbit was an animation. So, the problem with what Lucas did, he just made everything up.
Yeah.
They could have made the sets. They could have made most of it, really. But
Well, you look at Star Wars, he did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Made most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then the later ones as well, so Rogue One, what really let it down for me is the fact that they decided to do Tarkin obviously as Peter Cushing, and they did a bloody good job, to be fair, but I don't think they should have done it because it's kicked me out of the film. I knew I was being lied to, and it just doesn't quite work. And the actor actually that was playing that part of Tarkin looks good enough, and it would take me 3 seconds just to say, oh, that's not actually Peter Cushing. Oh, now it is. Do you know what I mean? It would take me seconds.
If they just
layer at the end. Oh my God,
awful.
what the hell is
but
that?
If they just done that bit with the reflection of his face,
yes,
that would have been fine. All right. So let's have a bit of news.
Before we do, I've actually got a little present for each of you.
Oh, look at this. Right, well, listen to this.
I thought, hold on, let me just rummage in my bag of wonder.
Oh, wait up, you've got like brown paper.
There's one for James Wielden.
Brown paper.
And there's one for Laurie
Wait
Wise.
a minute.
I think I know what this one be.
It's not meat, is it? You're not giving us meat again, are you?
It's a sirloin of lamb.
Hey, would you look at this?
It's a fashion garment. It's rolled up. Ooh, wait a minute. Is it emoticon? Is it an emoji movie Lighthouse t-shirt? It is, and he's got what? He's just stripped his jumper off
Yes.
like a superhero and revealed he's already wearing his.
This is amazing. Right, we've got to take a picture of these in a bit.
I will. I'll put it on there.
Nice work.
So it's hashtag camera lightbulb house.
Indeed.
Movie Lighthouse.
Yeah, and I'm having a bit of trouble with these emotions. What are they called?
Emotions.
Emojis. You put one up for Deadpool 2 the other day.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to work it. It took about 24 hours to work out what it was.
The skull, the poo, the L, and 2. So they did it for the original Deadpool. That was one of their marketing.
Okay. Oh, this is brilliant, Wyndham. Nice work.
Yeah, cheers.
So for everybody out there, we now have Movie Lighthouse merchandise.
Yes, only £299.
Right, sorry.
All right, so let's go on with a bit of news, shall we?
Yeah.
So I've got a bit. First of all, Fahrenheit 451. The
Come on
credit
TV,
to a
isn't it?
series, and it's now on Now TV. So
Oh, into a series. Cool.
Yeah, so I haven't checked it out.
No, I haven't seen it yet. My sister did send me a link though, saying that these TV shows are now seem to be following our reviews because Romper Stompers come out as well as a TV show.
Really?
Holy shit! What are we creating here?
It's a zeitgeist we're creating.
Yeah.
So there's that news. Also, Laurie, I thought you might want to explain a little bit about your With Now and I idea.
Right. Listen, this is not my idea. It's actually one of our listeners said. She was talking about With Now and Lie. Said, "Oh, you guys should do." There's this thing where whilst you're watching the film, you follow the film drink for drink, and she said you guys should do it like a live sort of Facebook or wherever, what sort of platform we're on, show where we're watching the film and doing just that, drink for drink. However, and I was like, yeah, we're going to do it. And you were quite reluctant, weren't you, Wyndham?
I was very reluctant, yeah.
Probably because you've done some research.
I did do a little bit of research. I'm just trying to find out.
Okay,
But
I was kind of up for it.
No, don't say we're not up for it. We're going to do it, right?
Right, well, yeah, I'm always up for stuff like that.
We're going to do it. Listeners, we will advertise and promote when the date will be. We'll probably do it Watershed.
Well, we're going to get people to play along
After
at home?
well, yeah, absolutely. We want you to join in. We'll get some sort of platform where maybe we could link up and Skype each other, whatever, and we could share this pain together.
And if anybody wants to play the part of me, you're more than welcome because I'm not doing it.
Right, so what's the deal here, Wim? What do we have to do?
Okay, so the premise of the game is every time With Now and I, the characters in With Now and I take a drink, you have to drink the same drink.
Yeah.
Okay? So, in the course of a film that is 1 hour and 47 minutes, you have to drink 9.5 glasses of red wine, half a pint of cider, 1 shot of lighter fluid, 2.5 shots of gin, 6 glasses of sherry, and 13 glasses of whiskey, plus half a pint of ale.
I don't think I'm going to do the lighter fluid.
I'll do the light fluid. I've already spoken to my wife about it. She understands.
Will that kill us?
It could kill me.
More than likely, yeah.
All right, screw it then. I won't do the lighter fluid. And what I maybe suggest, and you can write in and call us pussies or not, but maybe what we could do is basically share the load. Do you know what I mean? Like 9 glasses of wine would be 3 each. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Oh,
That makes sense.
work.
That could work, couldn't it?
Yeah.
And
So then you'd have to do it to help us out.
I don't think I'd have
That
to do
would
it.
be manageable.
But then, okay, so 9.5 glasses of red wine is 3 each.
That's easy.
Half a pint of cider fine, 1 shot fluid fine, a shot of gin each,
Yeah.
2 sherries each, and then 4 and a bit glasses of whiskey.
Well, I might not be drunk.
yeah, no,
after
we'll be
that.
fine.
In an hour and 47
Yeah,
minutes.
no, we'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Well, you're going to have to divide it by 2. You two can...
Well, I've got the idea. So basically, the person who suggested it, we would bring her along. So we'll have a show with Sandra, Chicken for Sandra.
Oh,
She'll be
right,
with us.
Yes.
Done.
All right.
So we'll keep you posted on the date. That's what we're doing. You're there with the plasters and vomit bags and mop.
Next bit of news. Have you got any, you two?
Again, I always forget.
So it depends what you mean by news, but yes. So you remember a couple of episodes ago, I mentioned that Predator, a new Predator movie is coming.
You did,
Yes.
by the guy that's got the glasses and the cap.
Sean Black, is it?
Who's in the original.
Sean Black, who has wrote Lethal Weapon, the original Lethal Weapon. He directed Iron Man 3, so he does action films.
Yeah.
I loved Lethal Weapon.
The trailer has dropped. I think it's going to be rubbish.
I think I've seen the trailer and I wasn't hugely impressed.
So this kid gets sent a box which, when he opens it up, has the Predator's helmet in it, and he's playing with it, and he detaches a bit, and it sends a message up to the Predator mothership, and then they come to Earth, and it apparently they've been roaming the galaxies, hybridizing themselves.
Okay.
I don't know. We shall see. But the trailer has landed, and
Yeah.
it's never going to be as good as the original.
Predator, when it came out, was fantastic fun for a kid. Predator 2 came out, fantastic fun.
Yeah.
Danny Glover, real good treat. And that last scene where you see all the things that it's slayed, and you see the alien skull. You see the alien skull.
I've only seen Predator.
Have you?
Watch Predator 2.
Watch Predator 2. It's good fun. Bill Pullman's in that, isn't he?
In Predator 2, and Gary Busey as well.
Who's Gary Busey?
Who are you, Keys? Last person in the world you want to fuck with.
Oh, right, yes.
I didn't dislike Predator versus Alien.
Oh, get
Was
out.
okay?
Oh.
No, get out.
Really?
James, yeah, go on.
No.
Actually, no, we need you.
This moves us on to our little feature. So, a few weeks ago, you two guys went to Bladerunner Secret Cinema.
We did.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Do you remember that? I barely remember.
And you went out and you said you were going to be the reporters and going to
Yeah.
capture the magic, capture the moment.
Yeah.
So I've got the footage here, so I thought it would be worth going through it and see what little gems that you brought back. All right?
Can I just say that they're very protective of their experiences, quite rightly, so you can't do any recording while you're in there or
Okay,
anything like
I
that.
really won't worry about that being a problem. I tell that we're going to be giving away a lot of secrets here, but let's have a listen.
There we go. What are we doing?
What are we doing? We're reviewing
Yeah, but
what
it's
we...
never going to be a review.
Secret
Secret Cinema,
Yeah.
how was it for you?
Secret Cinema Blade Runner.
Blade
Okay?
Runner, Super Blade Runner.
All right. Good intro.
It was really good.
Well, were you drunk already?
That's after. That's
Right.
at the end of the evening while we're waiting for an Uber to take us home.
Right, okay.
Yeah. We did actually record something before we went in, so yeah.
All right, I didn't capture that. Anyway, let's carry on. Let's see what other gems you've got.
Punch
Right,
it out.
for you listeners, Wynnham's a little bit flabbergasted. Admittedly, I'm a little bit flabbergasted. That kind of could be my natural state.
Come on.
So anyway, so it was great. Yes, absolutely. It was immersive from the moment you went in. There was little secrets and tools that you could go into. Essentially, I suppose the main key into those tools were photographs. There were those things you could go into, like little elements and blah blah blah.
So I don't think we're doing Secret Cinema any justice with that at all. It was really good. It was brilliant, but it was so good that I certainly, and I think it's fair to say you as well, Laurie, we probably enjoyed a couple of Asahis too many.
Right.
Yeah, well, now this is the thing. So, obviously, I love Blade Runner.
Hold
So,
on a minute. No, you haven't finished. I thought
not?
we should carry on listening to your wonderful review.
You know, Brian, and when you know Blade Runner is such a big thing.
It's Brian.
It's a big thing.
fucking
It's a
hell.
big thing, Laurie.
Right, have you finished now?
No,
Have you
we've got more. Don't worry.
What do I think?
How did we've just come out of
Yeah.
whatever
Blade
this was.
Runner
Blade
Secret
Runner.
Cinema.
Blade Runner Secret Cinema. So,
Yeah.
so what do you think?
I think, fuck me, they have given us the opportunity to really drop into some wonderful things.
Right, stop now.
Yeah, I think that's enough. I think Laurie and I are just like embarrassed now.
All right.
Let's,
So let's no. We've got a few bits more. I think there's a couple bits more. So let's just here we go.
You know, if as much as you want to play with it, you can play with it.
Well done, guys.
oh my god.
Right,
I'm sure we're going to get invited to loads of premieres now,
Okay.
after all of that.
that's been exhausted. However, so
Now, in hindsight and
I don't want to talk about it
sobriety,
anymore.
Secret Cinema was absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
Anyone who hasn't been to a Secret Cinema event, they do a brilliant job of kind of bringing these worlds to life. And I think that was your point, one of your points.
Was there points
I
in
think
there?
there was, that they immerse you completely and you can play with it as much as you want.
Yeah.
But then you sit down and watch the film. And
Yeah.
I don't actually remember watching the film.
You know, I do remember watching the film. And, you know, it's such a dear, precious film to my heart. They played the final cut version, which actually isn't the version that I particularly like. There's 7 versions of the film out there that you can view, and all of them have got kind of a different perspective in a way, which is cool. And my one personally is the original release, where you've got like the kind of sort of what's known as a cheesy voiceover, but that voiceover allows you to understand other lumps of it. So that's my version, and it doesn't push the point that apparently Deckard's a replicant, and in my mind, no, he's not. He's a drinking, cold fella. Yeah. But anyway, so the Secret Cinema bit allowed me to really play with that. It was amazing. I was standing outside a Taffy's bar, and this big tall person just in the corner of my eye came up right next to me, and I looked up, and it's Roy Batty, it's Rutger Hauer there. Looked just like him, and he's massive, and he's looking down at me and goes, "You need to go in, I need you to find someone." And he gives me one of these photographed memories, but the minute I see him, I'm just like, "Oh my God!" and I hug him tightly, and he smelled great. He's got the big black leather jacket on. That was amazing. And then in Taffy's bar, you've obviously got this sort of cabaret weird kind of music going on, and there's whiskey, and I've realised actually I'm really going into this Blade Runner thing at the minute. Since that Secret Cinema, I've been making the blaster from the film, this beautiful piece that I got from Japan, a Tomenasuke blaster.
And there's
it's wonderful.
pictures of that on.
Yeah, they're not on yet. I'm gonna post some
website.
pictures on that as well.
Yeah, that's been great fun. I've got the bottle, the original Johnny Walker Blade Runner bottle coming to me, but because I'm doing this, I've realised I'm drinking whiskey now. So now that's my choice of drink, and it's hazardous to my health.
That might explain some of our awesome, insightful reviewing.
Yeah, I basically went to Taffy's bar and drank whiskey. It was great.
It was
fun.
brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Good stuff. All right then. All right, so that's it for the news. So let's move on to In the Beam.
All right.
Play that theme tune.
Have done.
Oh, it's so... Anyway.
Right. Who wants to go first? Something good to recommend.
I'll go first, if you like. So we've been talking over the last couple of episodes of how superhero fatigued we are.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel, since we last spoke, 2 massive superhero films have opened. So I'm actually going to put Infinity War in the beam, Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah.
Because I think I went to see it shortly after we last recorded, actually, and we're all kind of used to the trajectory of Marvel films and the narrative and the arc that you go through, and the 3 acts. The 3rd act is the redemption act, and I know normally we go for big spoilers on this, but I don't necessarily. Have you guys seen it?
Nah, it's a bit early to us.
No, don't.
Okay, so I'm not going to. But it just twists your it doesn't deliver against your expectation.
Brilliant.
Insofar as it's not completely predictable. We've been set up to think a certain thing is how these films finish, and Infinity War doesn't do that.
Right.
Brilliant.
And genuinely, I sat there in the cinema with my wife, and at the end of the film, we just turned and stared at each other. It was like, what the hell have we just watched?
Yeah.
I genuinely think it's a really good film. Really good film.
It does, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it seems like there's this sort of confidence, or maybe it's that they're fatigued themselves in Hollywood, that they're kind of making stuff. This is what I found with The Last Jedi. It's like, what the hell? It's really quite brave. It's not what I expected at all. For a Star Wars fan, a precious franchise, that film is a massive slap in the face to a really loved, precious thing, and what they did with that was like, whoa. And it seems like Infinity War again, that you got this, not necessarily a slap in the face because I haven't seen it, but something brave. Could you call it a brave?
I think ultimately you'll probably sit there and kind of go, actually no, it wasn't brave.
Oh, okay.
But at the time, it is jaw-dropping.
Yeah.
For me anyway, and for me and Louise, we were just thinking, wow, what? That's not what I expected to happen.
Okay.
Well, you maybe really want to go and see it now.
I thought it was good.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, how about you, Laurie?
I saw Anon It came through on Sky, I think, because Sky had...
It's one of their originals.
Yeah, they're original. So it did come out in the cinema, but Sky got first dibs. So the minute it hit the cinema, you get it on Sky, basically. So Clive Owen, some other lady, I should know her name. I think she was from Mamma Mia. But anyway, she's in it.
Yeah.
Futuristic. I don't think it stipulates what year we're in, but it's kind of a commentary, I suppose, on data. What's it called? The
GDPR.
GDPR hit yesterday, which is obviously a massive thing.
In the UK and EMEA, across EMEA, which is data protection laws.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I know, yeah.
For our non-UK,
Right,
non-European listeners, they might not know what GDPR is because they don't care in the US.
Yeah. So this film, kind of the premise is very much linked to that. So obviously we've got, in this world, all of us have got essentially like things in our eyes which records our days, what we're doing. We're walking around, you can just look at someone, you can see their profile, their name, where they come from. And Clive Owen's a cop, and obviously they have privileged access to everything. So, you know, if there's a murder, they immediately know who's done it because they'll just see what that person saw at the last minute. They'll look into that voice, into their eyes, see who came in the room and killed them, etc.
Right, okay.
And then they'll link blah blah blah. It's a cool idea, and I think the style of it really impressed me. You've got that, it's almost in a way that sort of Blade Runner feel, where it's kind of very understated. You know, normal kind of sort of 60s fashion. It's all kind of a little bit grey, but no obvious sort of we're in the future kind of stuff. But very subtle things like
451 now.
well, yeah. In a way, but a lot better. So it looked cool, really felt cool. But then there's this massive naffness to it as well. So that you get this one scene where he's gone into the eyes of the murderer, as it were, and it's just the way they do it, the acting, the framing of it is just really pants. And that's when I suddenly realised, oh yeah, it's just a bit naff.
Yeah.
There's this bit where Clive Owen basically has to set up this ruse, and his idea is to catch the murderer, as it were. I've got this great idea. What I'll do, I'll pretend I've got a girlfriend, but one night I get this high-class prostitute and I have to shag her all night long, and then da-da-da-da. It's like, yeah, that's a really great idea, Clive. So you go to do that. You go, I do that to catch the murderer. I'm doing it for you guys, kind of thing. And it's like, yeah. But yeah, it's good. There's lots of cool stuff about it, but there's a lots of naff stuff about it. But that's Anon.
Okay. All right, so...
What about your...
Mine's going to be Deadpool 2. I went to see that last week.
It's supposed to be great.
I didn't dislike it. I thought it was, quite a good film. But it wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't anything wrong with the first one. But it's very hard to top the first film.
Yeah.
Because...
So talking about that kind of, it's part of the Marvel universe, and before Deadpool, the first one came along, they'd set a very family friendly, and then Deadpool came along and just blew all of that away.
Yeah.
And you just felt, this is amazing. This is finally a comic book made for, not finally, Watchmen does it as well, but that kind of made for grown-ups. Mm-hmm. And Deadpool 2 it can't break the same...
Yeah, Hyman.
...ground again. Can't break the same ground again. But it's a good watch. It's really enjoyable. It's really funny in places.
Yeah, again, spoiler free, but... something happens, and so he's a bit depressed throughout the film, really.
Yeah.
Which kind of puts a downer on it, because you want him to be kind of really...
All right, it goes on a bit, that.
all the way through.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, I'll just get to grips with it. And I wasn't really keen on the gang he got together.
X-Force.
Yeah. So it was all right. It was okay.
Yeah, it was...
It was a bit lacklustre for me, really.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Okay, so we've got a new feature, and this is it. We're not having any more features.
Okay.
But we're going to do On the Rocks, all right? Because we're talking about films that we like, and I watch a lot of things that I don't like, so I thought we'd just mention if we've seen anything that we're not very keen on. So I saw Annabelle Creation the other day, which is the sequel to, obviously, Annabelle, which was the sequel to... I can't remember. There's... It's just another of these horror schlock films.
Okay.
And it was about a creepy doll, and it just had every kind of cliche in the book.
Right.
It was so...
It still works for some people, but yeah, it's just a complete waste of time.
I suppose, if you're young and you haven't seen a film about a creepy doll, I mean, the one good thing is they don't get the doll to move. So whenever you're looking at the doll, it's not moving. You look away, you look back, and the doll's head's moved and stuff like that.
Oh,
Which is quite creepy.
Yeah, that's creepy, but yeah, it didn't do very much for me, really.
Yeah.
How about you, Steve? Anything?
So I haven't seen anything really recently that I really didn't like. The last thing I saw was about 6 weeks ago, and this is a pile of poo. Tom Cruise's The Mummy.
Oh,
And I just want to say,
I didn't mind it too much.
Louisa and I were feeling a little bit delicate, and we just needed something that required zero brain power.
Yeah.
It's rubbish.
Yeah.
It's
He's
Hollywood
quite
again.
good in it.
It's Hollywood again, though, putting the cart before the horse and saying we're going to make a franchise, and not putting the effort into making the film good enough to warrant a franchise.
Yeah, yeah.
It was really annoying.
Absolutely.
Which frustrates me about my son. He's written about 47 books, but they're just titles and front covers. Do you know what I mean?
So he's just storing up titles. I find titles the
They're
hardest
really,
bit.
they're really
Sounds
cool
universal.
titles, though. They're very exciting.
Titles are always the hardest bit, so he's done the hard work.
Is he? Well, that's true, actually.
Has he done
But-
the synopsis at the back of the book?
No.
Get him to do that, and that'll
The
do.
hyperbole, yeah.
Yeah.
The back cover.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, on the rocks. Okay, so I've seen Anon, Clive Owen, and from Mamma Mia, girl from Mamma Mia. So basically, you've got. All right, okay.
All right, very good. Very
Sorry.
Good. Right, let's get on with it then. Let's do our feature.
Okay, feature time.
Okay, so we chose body snatcher movies. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about body snatching. Okay, so Burke and Hare,
Yes.
Will Burke and William Hare, were two Irish immigrants who dug up 17 victims in Edinburgh over the years, 1827 to 1829, and they became known as Westport murders because they killed a few of them as well.
Medical science owes a lot to them.
Yeah. That's an alright film as well.
I haven't seen it.
Burke and O'Hare.
You know, I'm in it.
What?
I'm in the film Burke and Hare with.
Which one are you, Burke or O'Hare?
In my job, we do lots of bits and pieces of extra work.
Right.
So me and 20 of our guys with learning disabilities were as extras in Burke and Hare.
Can you see yourself in it?
Well,
You've met Ronnie
yeah, one of our guys went up to Ronnie Corbett and said, "It's a really it's a big shame that the other one died because he was funny."
But it's very, very true.
Anyway, and no, I don't think you can see me, but you can see some of our guys.
Brilliant.
All right, so okay, pop cultural references in books. So, Body Snatchers is a 1955 science fiction novel written by Jack Finney, and it describes real life Mill Valley, California being invaded by seeds that have drifted to Earth from space. But we'll have a bit more about that in a minute. And on TV, I found it really hard to find any TV series except for Invasion, which was.
It was great. I used to love Invasion.
No, this was a 2005 version.
Oh.
So it was. It only lasted one series, and it seemed a really. I quite liked it, but it got cut.
I'm thinking of it, Invaders.
Invaders.
That
The
was good.
Invaders, but yeah, no body snatching in the Invaders, but there was a lot of aliens walking around the Earth. I love the Invaders. All right, so we're gonna start with Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a clip.
They come from a dying world. They drift through the universe, pushed on by the solar winds. They adapt, and they survive. The function of all life is survival. Sleep, sleep, sleep. From deep space, sleep. The seed is planted. Sleep, sleep. Terror grows.
Matthew!
Like the others.
Elizabeth, wake up! Get you when you sleep. Sit up!
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
All right, so it was released in 1978. Director Philip Kaufman, screenplay Jack Finney and W.D. Richter, and it made $25 million at the US box office.
It's fair.
And it featured Donald Sutherland, Brooke Adams, Jeff Goldblum, and Leonard Nimoy. All right, so you can give me a bit of a synopsis.
You want to go for that one, Win?
Yeah, all right. So it's not a very complex synopsis. The film is these space seeds land on Earth, and I can't remember her name. What's the name of the female?
Karen Carpenter.
Yeah. She basically.
Brooke Adams.
Thank you, Brooke Adams. She recognises a change in personality of her boyfriend, and she goes to see her friend Donald Sutherland to tell him, and basically over time more and more people start acting peculiarly, and it then becomes apparent to her, Donald Sutherland, and then Goldblum that people are being taken over and being replaced by these aliens, and then it's a kind of a desperate attempt to try to escape from their clutches and then taking over the world.
Yeah. Nice synopsis, man. Well done.
Okay, first thought. So, what do we think? Do we like this film?
I absolutely love this film. So this was the film that would regularly pop on TV late at night. You're way past your bedtime, and BBC Two's giving you this one. Fantastic. I've always loved it. I think it's got a great sense of paranoia about it. I think the acting's excellent. And this story's been told loads of times. Obviously, the original we had back in the 50s, which is actually really, really good film. Still a really, really good watch. But this one definitely surpasses it. You got that, I don't know, sort of something was going on in the 70s where there was a certain sort of naturalism to a film. And this one's got that, but obviously with that sort of huge high fantasy of plants basically taking over us. But yeah, I loved it. I've always loved it, and I've probably watched it 50-ish times.
Wow.
Well, I'm exaggerating like I normally do.
Yeah.
But I've watched
You've seen
it a
it
lot.
3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
I think you're right. It's very subtle. It takes kind of a while to get going, and it's very firmly based in the 70s. I mean, you've got when Leonard Nimoy turns up, and I think that a woman's there. She's really worried that because her husband's changed, and he's like.
He's a famous psychiatrist.
Yeah, so he's doing because he's a brilliant psychiatrist, he can just do it there in the middle of this really busy room. And just say a few things to him.
And he's radical as well, isn't he?
Pure. Yeah, there's another bit, where he throws someone against the wall.
How did that make you feel?
How did it make you feel? So he's like a super psychiatrist, and it's like cure anyone. But
in a sweet jacket.
And
Don't
a
forget
weird
the jacket.
leather hand thing.
Yes! What was that for?
So I had to Google that, because he wears this kind of 2 fingers covered in leather and then this patch on the back of his hand, and it looks bizarre. It almost looks like it's one of those leather things archers use.
Archers, yeah.
But it isn't. And I Googled it, and apparently the only reason to have it is to make him look distinctive. Doesn't do anything.
Like an eye
It's an
patch.
affectation, yeah.
That's cool. See?
Which
Little
is annoying.
detail.
Because you kind of sit there going, oh, what's that?
Yeah.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
But I have to say, I thought Leonard Nimoy was great in this film.
He is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's really good.
And I don't think I've seen him in very many things other than Star Trek.
Yeah.
He's not in very many things other than Star Trek.
Yeah, that might be it. So this was the first time I've seen this film.
Oh, really?
How
You've never seen it?
cool.
seen it
Yeah, what did you reckon?
Well, I think
Oh, come
partly
on.
because of why I watched it for this, I was looking at it with different approach to if I just sat down and watched it.
Well, don't do that.
Which I think is I need to try and stop. It's all right.
Oh, God's sake.
And I did enjoy it. Let me just say, I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I can't remember which one of you said the acting's really good in it. Not always. Not always.
Come on,
at all.
then.
So
See, you are watching it with the wrong. You're in the wrong lens, man.
think
You
I
just
might
gotta.
be.
You
think I
just
might
gotta
be.
chill,
I
dude.
thought the acting was alright.
Well, there are bits of it towards when you're getting towards the end, and the majority of the population of San Francisco has been taken over by these aliens. The Donald Dawn or whatever her name is, Brooke, are trying to escape, and they come around a corner, and there are loads of them coming towards them, and it's like, oh no, they're coming out of their house, and behind the house, down the stairs, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There are loads and loads, and they kind of go, they're coming. Like this dramatic, overly dramatic, not realistic at all.
Yeah.
Kind of. So bits like that were just a bit okay. But you're right. I'm probably looking at it with too much.
You are. You've got a score sheet next to you. That's what it is. Just relax. Take it in via osmosis.
Yeah.
Oh, and vision and ears.
What do we think of the effects?
Brilliant.
Yeah. Really good.
Really
Thought
look
they were
good.
really good. Yeah.
What about the man with the dog with the man's face?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was weird. That was weird.
It's freaking awesome.
I didn't understand why that.
Right, it happened because
it's the
he
thing.
He walks past the tramp,
Yeah.
and the tramp's asleep, being converted,
Yeah.
and he kicks the seed pod.
Right.
So it obviously fucks up the transformation process.
So a bit of that and a bit of that.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why. 'Cause
Okay.
keep the pod. I love these sort of films. I love conspiracy films, and I love films where you can't trust anybody and you don't know who's been taken over.
Yeah.
Invaders from Mars was the first one for me, where the people were getting taken over one at a time, and nobody would listen to the little kids and all this kind of stuff. It's exactly the same here. And Donald Sutherland just holds court.
Yeah. He's awesome in this, and obviously that when we're talking about the 70s, how can he be a sexual option? He is in
with
this.
his comfortable cardigan.
Always surprised me.
I do quite like the fact that he plays a health inspector in this film, but because he's a really good friend of Leonard Nimoy's character, so they've known each other for years, blah blah blah, and it appears that Leonard Nimoy's psychiatry training and expertise has rubbed off on Donald Sutherland, because although he's a health inspector, he does have that insight where he goes, yeah, they have crazy eyes.
Yeah.
Done. Oh, crazy eyes. Yeah, I get you. Yeah. Must be an alien.
Jeff Goldblum's great.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's always
amazing.
great. So the two of them, Jeff Goldblum and Donald Sutherland, effectively just play Jeff Goldblum and Donald Sutherland the whole of their careers, don't they?
Yeah.
They're brilliant. I'm not trying to detract from it, but
I think they are actors as icons.
Apart from well, not apart from him, I'm sure he's done some other really good stuff, but Donald Sutherland, Fellini's Casanova, that's a film to watch. He's incredible in that. He's really, really great in that, Casanova.
So can I just mention as well, Jeff Goldblum's wife, Veronica Cartwright,
who's in Witches of Eastwick.
She has a really bad time in all the films
does,
she's
yeah.
in. Yeah, so she threw up the
cherry stone
cherries in Witches of Eastwick, and she got killed
in Alien. In a really, really bad way. So if you watch Alien, I don't know if you might have noticed, but you just see the tail go between her legs, and then you hear her on the voice comm thing. Awful.
But I thought she was brilliant as well.
Yeah, she's cool.
Good set pieces. I loved a bit in the whole mud baths and things like that.
It looked really grubby though. I'm not sure I'd go there for a mud bath. I appreciate mud is grubby, but you want the stuff around it to be clean. It looked a little bit backstreet, didn't it?
Yeah.
But not, as you say, nice set piece.
Yeah.
That's my health inspector lens coming on.
Yeah. I love the bit where the guy from the original Body Snatchers film turns up and bangs on the car. They're coming, get out of here.
Yeah.
His crazy face.
So for me, that makes me feel that it's, although it is just basically kind of, it's a very different remake.
Yeah.
Because, so I like to think of it as a sequel.
Yeah.
That he's just been running for like the past 20 years.
Yeah.
And no one's been listening to him, and he finally gets there.
Yeah.
Donald Sutherland and gets killed.
I've just realised, what am I saying? The best scene is the last bit.
Yeah.
Donald's bit. That is it. That's the bollocks, mate.
We're explain that.
Like that?
Yeah. So the two survivors, right at the very end of the film, you think there are two survivors.
Oh, can we say it?
Yeah. Well, in this.
Yeah, well, spoilers here, so if you don't want to know what happens.
Yeah, cover your ears up. It's really, really good film. I highly recommend. Watch this one. It's a lovely little. It could be called junk, but definitely check this one out. It's great.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah. So at the end of the film, you're left thinking there are a couple of survivors. So you think Donald Sutherland's character has survived, and the woman we were just talking about. What's the actor's name?
Karen Carpenter.
Veronica. Veronica Cartwright.
Yeah. So you think those two are the only survivors, and she bumps into Donald. He's walking around San Francisco, and she bumps into him and kind of runs up to him, and he turns to her, and basically every time these aliens take somebody over and they kind of want to call to their comrades to come and help duff up somebody else, they open up. No, you do it better.
No, that's really awful. Mine sounds like it's from a dodgy film.
And the end of the film is her going up to Donald Sutherland and him turning around, just pointing at her, opening his mouth and making this horrible screaming noise to attract all the other pod people towards her, and she freaks out. And apparently, she didn't know that was going to happen.
Oh, that's
Really?
cool. Well done.
Oh,
Apparently, the director didn't tell her, so when Donald turns to her,
That's
she's expecting
cool.
them both to go off into the sunset.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And he shows that he's actually been taken.
Yeah.
And I suppose we grew up in the 80s where, like, at the end of every kind of horror film or every kind of film like that, there'd always be the twist at the end where, Freddy would come back and grab the girl or all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So we're used to it. But back then, that was probably quite a novel
I didn't.
concept.
Yeah, I did. Well, no, I didn't expect it when I was a kid. I was mortified when I saw that bit. But when you just said that though about on set, she didn't know as well. I got that feeling again. I was like, oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah, you can see why as an actress they put her through hell, because she does act being put through hell really well.
Yeah, really well.
That's good stuff in films. I mean, William Friedkin was a big, very famous for that, wasn't he? Kind of sort of tortured the actors, tortured Gene Hackman.
Talk about William Friedkin in every single episode.
Oh, do we?
Oh no, we do.
Bring it back to The Exorcist. Every time.
Well, I was on about French Connection just then, but yeah, no, he put Gene Hackman through absolute hell throughout the French Connection, and again, yeah, all the actors on The Exorcist. I think he nearly broke the mum of Reagan's back by pulling her down in certain scenes, and put a shotgun next to the priest's ear without him knowing when he's listening to the Exorcist. Reagan speaking in these weird tongues. He's like, really quiet moment, reversing the tape, trying to make sense of what she's saying. Freaking standing behind him with a shotgun, like that, so he can, just to get a reaction from the actor.
Wow.
And he basically nearly killed him there and then.
Nice.
So yeah, I think that might have been a practice in the film world of torturing actors.
Okay.
But it's good.
Excellent. All right. So, anyone got anything else on this film before we move on?
I'm done. I'd say definitely go and watch it if you haven't seen it. And sorry about giving the ending. It's your fault.
Yeah. So there was a little cameo at the beginning. You see that?
No.
The priest on the swings right at the very beginning.
Yes.
Robert
Who's he?
Duvall.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah. Just
Nice.
literally is in it for 5 seconds.
Cool.
And apparently he just happened to be in San Francisco and his mates with the director, and said, "Yeah, I'll do it." And he did it for a coat, a jacket. It was his pay.
Nice.
He had a jacket and he did it for that. It was a bit weird. I didn't.
Well, I thought that was very weird because it kind of implied that he was
Had already been taken.
converted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was.
But they didn't do anything with it.
But then I thought, well, if he was someone who'd been changed, why was he on the swings?
Well, exactly.
Because they don't like things like that. They're just really dull.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that struck me, was that they've come all this way and they kind of to take over the world. It's just luck as to whether you get to be a pod person who is playing on the swings, or being a binman, or a cleaner.
But maybe when everybody's been changed,
they don't do any of that.
They'll change the whole system.
Yeah.
I also want to put a bit of a shout out. I really like the Chinese couple.
Yeah, the dry cleaners.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah.
And I thought it is a great film. It is a brilliant film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand why towards the end, when Donald Sutherland finds the pod growing plant, and he's going around, he's smashing, he's got the big axe and he's smashing up lights and he's setting fire to stuff. At the point that one of the pod people actually comes towards him, instead of hitting the pod person with the axe, he drops the axe. I'd have taken one swing at least.
Yeah.
Just saying. I'd have given it a go.
Yeah.
And then run away.
Yeah. It's a bit icky though, isn't it? Shoving an axe in someone's face.
Yeah, but it's not someone, is it? It's a...
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Alright, should we score it then?
Yeah, go on.
Performances, I'm going to give it a 9. I really like. There's two other people in that I like. Veronica Cartwright, Jeff Goldblum, all of them I thought were great.
Yeah.
Wim?
I've gone for 6.
Oh, really? That low?
Yeah, there were for me there were 3 or 4 standout. Oh my god, that's a bit hammy.
All right, okay.
Moments.
Fair enough. Laurie?
8.
Okay. Effects. Win.
8. I thought it was very good.
We're going to continue going round in a clockwise direction.
Okay, yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, 8. Yeah, really good.
I'm going to give it 9.
Yeah.
Liked it. And looking at, for the 70s, that dog with the man's face looked really good.
Yeah.
All right, plot. Laurie.
7. Because I know it's not an original plot or anything like that, but I think they do it in an original way.
That's not the same as plot, though, is it? The plot is the plot.
Oh look, listen, you understanding words better than me.
Sorry.
Plot, I'm going to give it 6. I thought it was it was a slow plot, really.
I'm giving it 4. Just because I don't think there's very much of a plot.
Fair enough. Rewatch factor, I'm going to give it a 10 because I watched this film a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'll always come back to this film. I love it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm giving it a 9.
Well, it wasn't your 10, but okay.
Okay.
I'm giving it 4.
Oh, Wyndham.
Jesus.
Oh my God. Right, cinematography, win.
5.
I really like it. I think there's some great shots in it. I love the colour of it. Yeah, 8.
I'm going to give it a 6. I thought, the thing, it is a bit of a, it's got that 70s drabness about it, which a lot of these sci-fi films in the 70s seems to have, you know, so, yeah, not too much. Sound of Music.
It's kind of like the standard fare, isn't it, really? So, what, 7?
Okay, I've given it a 2 because I didn't think there was really any.
Actually, yeah, okay, I'm going to revise mine, sorry, 5.
Okay.
I gave it a 7.
Okay.
Yes.
What did you find from it? Why 7?
I particularly like the although when it says sound music towards the end when they're playing back,
Oh, yeah.
doesn't count as sound rather than music. But I quite liked it.
Well,
I just
counts as
there was,
music.
yeah, there was the sound of music. I think it kind of set a tone throughout that was you talking earlier about the paranoia and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that. I kind of
Do you know what? I'm
cool.
revising mine to 4 because I love the bagpipes in that bit. Although I didn't quite understand why.
no, I didn't understand why they were playing them.
You know, there was no logic to that because he heard the bagpipes thinking, there's still someone with emotion, but they were just loading the ship.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a bit stupid. We could get away by ships. They were loading the pods on the
They were
ships.
spreading pods in.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
why the bagpipes?
Dunno.
Right. Laurie, what did you score the music?
5.
Right, originality, I've given it 5 because it is a remake by all once.
I've given it 3.
5.
Okay. Win, enjoyability.
I gave it a 6.
Okay.
Damn it, 8.
I've given it a 9. Really
Yeah.
enjoyed the film. And life-changing past or present, I am giving it a 9.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm giving it an 8. It's really when you first watched it
I've
back
been
in the
watching it for
day.
a long time.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I get
and
that.
that's why I've given it a high.
Yeah. As all the others, it gets a 0.
Oh my!
We're gonna get.
It's
We're
his
gonna
base.
find
It's his perspective of. He's
Exactly.
saving it up for Robocop.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, can we hear your totals then?
49.
You're gonna have to wait a bit for me again. Sorry.
Okay, mine was 73.
72.
72.
2.
Okay, that means that it gets a Lighthouse rating of 65.
Ooh.
Well, 64.6.
Where does that put us, kids? Do we know?
Yeah. It puts us.
Puts it second.
What?
Oh, great! Yeah, beats Crash.
It beats Crash by 0.1.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's the right place for it myself.
You reckon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's where it is. right or
Okay.
wrong.
Fine.
So
It's only
have
that
to go
high
with that.
because you two scored it so highly.
Okay.
all right. Okay, good stuff. Right, we're going to move on then. We've got our next one, which is Puppet Masters. So let's have a clip.
An unexpected guest has arrived,
Something unusual was reported entering our atmosphere last night.
and soon everyone's life will be transformed. Because this guest isn't just visiting,
Still moving.
What the hell is that?
A visitor, I presume.
it's looking for a home.
The probe penetrates the brain while these hooks lock into the spinal column.
Using us like puppets?
We're being manipulated.
They're capable of transmitting not just intelligence, but memory.
We're only human after all.
Secure the building.
One day, 4,000. 2 days, 16,000. In 2 weeks, there would be...
More than 250 billion.
You can't move unless they let you.
We've lost a town, now we've lost an army.
Danny?
They're using children?
Cannot think of them any longer as children.
You can't scream until they make you.
I warned you.
You can't escape when the enemy is within you.
All I know is really you. If it's not, you know what to do.
Donald Sutherland.
Get it off him! Get it off!
The Puppet Masters.
All right, it was released in 1994, directed by Stuart Orme, screenplay by Robert A. Heinlein, Ted Elliott, Terry Rossio, and David S. Goyer. So loads of people involved in that. And it was a box office hit! 8.6 million at the US box office. Mind you, I don't know, maybe the website which I got that from said box office hit. Notable actors Donald Sutherland, Eric Ty, and Julie Warner. Okay, so shall I give the synopsis?
Please do.
Okay, so a meteorite falls from the sky, and these lads find it, and basically straight away you're into the action that there are creatures that have landed into the earth, and they go on the back of people and control them like puppets. Enter Donald Sutherland, who is basically here to save the day, and a conspiracy ensues. You don't know who's an alien, who's been controlled and who isn't, and there you go. I'm going to open by saying I love this film.
Do you?
I absolutely love it. I love it from I love the speed of it. So you start right away.
You really do.
Yeah.
You
within
really do.
5 minutes, it's all going on within 5 minutes. The problem with Invasion of Body Snatchers, and problem with lots of films, is that it takes such a long time to find the creature or see what's going on. Right away, within about 10 minutes, we see the alien is being killed, we know the premise, and then you're right in for the action all the way through it.
You really are.
I love this film from start to finish.
That's what struck me. It was unexpected. Like suddenly it kicks off, and then something else happens. It's like what? Something else happens. Like whoa, calm down, jeez, Louise. So it did take me by surprise actually. That whole opening bit.
And it was an antidote as well, because it came out in '94, which was like probably around the height of X-Files and all that kind of stuff, and it's very basically. But again, the X-Files didn't show you anything. This was giving you everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything. Can't follow this movie at all. Love it.
What?
I love this film.
Jesus Christ.
Donald Sutherland as his peak. He's having such a good time in this. He's having a great time. He's smiling away when the aliens are invaded, and there's lines like he's only happy when
when he's in a crisis.
In a crisis. He's got a difficult relationship.
He really does do nothing in this film. Doesn't he? He doesn't do anything.
What do you mean? He does loads of things in this film.
It's
No, I completely disagree. I mean, the whole ending, for a start, which
he steps up a bit and looks up and goes, "Oh, I've fallen."
Whoa! No,
and that's it.
Not. All right, well, we'll go, but let's kind of go through it from the start. When?
There's a lot of kind of period cliches and stuff like that in it. So Sam, who you find is kind of like the young agent, he's the Mulder, if you like.
Yeah.
You find out it's barn door obvious he is Donald Sutherland's son before they tell you. There's friction in the relationship.
Yeah.
Sam is being a bit sassy to this guy who runs this massive agency. It's signposted that they're related and have a difficult relationship. But what really struck me about Sam, a couple of key things. One is he had wonderful hair.
He did have
at all stages throughout the film, regardless of how action-packed he'd had a 10 minutes or whether he just got out of the shower or whatever. His hair was beautifully coiffed.
That's one of your aspirations, isn't it?
It is.
You want really good hair.
Jealous of people with good hair. Yeah. It's a journey for me. And then the other thing was he worked out. So whenever they did the check on, you have to take your shirt off to find out when you
they made the most of that.
He just didn't bother doing his shirt back up. He had an actual body for it. Everybody else just got dressed, but he
Did you always work out? Did you always know who was the alien?
Yes.
Every time?
Every time.
Even when it went through the air vent?
Even when it went through the air vent.
So Sam's chasing the alien.
Yeah, and the woman is... Yeah.
And then it gets away. He said it gets away, but it hasn't really got away.
Oh, it's got him?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But so that was one of the things for me was once they'd understood what it was, right at the very beginning, there's a very easy way to find out. You kind of go, take your shirt off.
Yeah.
And they did that once.
Yeah.
And then
everyone puts their shirts back on. And
apart from the person who got the alien, and then they run away and go, there you go, let's do that every time somebody new enters the room. No, let's not bother.
Well, it was
that's fine. We checked him 5 minutes ago. Checked him No, wasn't. Because...
Well, he did it with the army guys. He did it with the army guys.
He did it with the army guys, but that core group, Donald, Sam, the woman... Jarvis.
They kind of... Yeah, go on.
Jarvis was a wrong 'un from the beginning.
Yeah.
You knew that straight away.
Well, he looked,
He just looked like a wrong 'un.
Yeah, does.
Barn door. You don't have to wait for him not to be smoking. Yeah.
But they had to... There was basically... There was an alien on one of their backs all the time, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Someone wasn't to be trusted. But I loved it. What about the monkey bit? I love the monkey bit. So they put the aliens on a monkey, but that poor chip gets converted.
Yeah.
And then it types in the computer, "Hello, Sam.
I thought...
You miss me?"
Yeah. We'll get to this when we're rating the performances, but I thought the chimps were brilliant. I mean, they were really something special.
They were remarkable.
They were.
Chimps were good.
Yeah.
Story. What do we think of the plot?
It's just
It's that thing again.
It's that thing again. There's one plot point.
No, but all right, but it is edge of your seat stuff. You do not have time to. You don't have time to rest. It's moving at such a pace. If you compare it to Body Snatchers, it rips roars through set pieces.
It does. It does.
But the problem is there's no, like your question earlier. Could you tell who was the alien every time? Yeah. Absolutely every time. As soon as the scene started, he's an alien. She's
Well, that's
definitely.
okay.
Yeah, but it just takes
Not
the
everybody
suspense
else
away.
knew. People in the film didn't know.
Yeah, but it's my suspense, not theirs, that I'm trying to enjoy.
Okay.
I suppose once you get, you're right. It does keep trucking along, and it's just. I suppose there's just a certain crapness about that. I suppose, isn't there? You know, it's tension, suspension, building, crafting of the story. It's not so much that here.
If you compare the end of Body Snatchers to the end of this film, which was a rip-roaring finish, by the way.
It did
so all the way through...
We've got a helicopter. I've got the budget, we've got a helicopter.
Subtly using a cane. And I remember first watching this film thinking, I wonder if he just needs one in real life. But no, he was using it because it was a Chekhov's gun moment. That at the end, when he went into the mothership or the hive, whatever.
The hive. Oh, I've fallen.
Yeah, and then
it's okay.
Cane.
But you knew as soon as the stuff fell from the ceiling that
I did not.
He's definitely.
Well, I didn't know, but I've seen it about 50 times.
But the first time you saw it, did you not? When did you first see it?
1996.
Okay, so you would have been
in America.
A young
VHS.
19-year-old, 20-year-old.
Yes.
You really should have been able to tell by then.
Well, I may have been able to. I may have spotted it. I can't remember. But then you have the whole helicopter sequence. How exciting is that?
Yeah. I think basically the main budget on this film. Actually, the aliens do look cool. To be fair, I like all the little tentacle bits.
Quite like the way they unfurl a little bit like an alien egg.
Yes, yeah.
I can't do the sound.
It's like a.
Yeah.
Right, so let's talk about facts. I thought they were amazing.
The design of the alien's really nice. Like you say, it's got that alien, literally, Ridley Scott's alien design.
Flatfish. No, it looks like a fish.
Oh, it looks like a ray. Like a little ray.
Yeah.
With a straw that comes out, some tentacly bits, and a sort of armadillo type quality to it also.
Yeah. So all the effects were said top notch.
I think the budget mainly went though on the helicopter, and there's one little shot when you see Donald Sutherland's son. He's got it on his back, and we've got him all strapped down onto the bed. Yeah. And there's a quick shot to a TV monitor where they've got an X-ray of the skull of his skeleton.
Yeah.
And I think they probably spent a lot of money on that effect.
Yeah, because it's showing that how the alien takes over the nervous system, right?
Yeah.
It's got these little fronds going up into the brain.
Yeah. I think, but yeah.
I thought in that scene, Donald Sutherland listens brilliantly well.
Oh,
yeah?
Yeah.
It's a good listener.
Really, that subtle kind of acting.
He's got eyes, isn't he?
Kind of, he's there, he's in the moment.
I quite like the hive, the effects of the hive, which essentially looks like a pizza joint has exploded, and loads of sort of Emmental mozzarella has just gone everywhere.
It put me really in mind of the sets from the original Star Trek type stuff.
Yes, very much so. And when you touch the thing as well, when it opens up,
yeah.
It's very mozzarella.
There's a couple of Doctor Who references. It looks very much like the Axon spaceship or the Zygon spaceships were both grown, not. So I think that was a concept that we're going for there.
There was a bit when they've identified where the hive is.
Yeah.
So they struggle to begin with. And
that's nice. The three circles. That was cool.
Yeah. This is the trajectory of where they're moving the hive because people need to come back to the hive to upload their learnings and
get some cheese
and share and get some cheese.
Yeah.
So they find where the current hive is, and then they have a whole load of Action Jackson soldiers, and one of the guys gets attacked and gets taken over.
By about 20 of them?
By about 20 of them. And he's like super hard, and he comes out and he starts chasing Sam. They've gone into the hive because the woman's been taken. Sam goes into the hive, finds the woman.
Is that the first time she's been taken?
No, second time. But they also find a kid who has been quarantined because he's got something that the aliens can't ingest or do something with. Yeah, and then so as they're trying to get him out, this other soldier gets taken over, and then he's tracking Sam.
That's right.
What with?
With that
He's got
little
that hand
walkie-talkie
thing.
radio
He's got that
thing.
radio thing. But I'm thinking, oh, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that tracking?
I think
How is that
Not a clue.
connecting
well,
to
he's
Sam?
probably got some sort of GPS system going on with his walkie-talkies.
Yeah, but Sam's not taken over at that point, so he's got rid of his alien. It just struck me as this guy's constantly looking at like a radar.
But it didn't work anyway
like,
because he didn't actually know where he was.
Yeah, it was weird.
But there's I've noticed there's lots of people in this. It's like, oh, that's the guy from. Oh, that's the lady
Yeah, that
from.
black guy was in Requiem for a Dream. He plays like, really sinister.
Yeah, he's in John Carpenter's They Live.
Oh, okay.
He's the other half to that wonderful homoerotic wrestling scene that you get in They Live, which is wonderful. You've never seen They Live?
I haven't seen a lot of films I think we were establishing in this podcast.
Jeez Louise,
They
Alan.
Live, that's the one with Rowdy Roddy Piper, isn't it?
Rowdy Roddy Piper? Is he kind of sort of like slightly effeminate but very butch, long, beautiful hair?
Yes.
Yeah, him. Yeah.
Right,
So he's the other half of that homoerotic wrestling match. Yeah.
So
that's great.
just back to how they kill them is they get that kid out, don't they, with the virus, which they've sectioned off.
Yes.
Right.
He doesn't look very well, that kid.
Okay. And what do? They just replicate it. I'm slightly confused about how do they kill them all off at the end?
When you kill one, you kill the main one, they'll all die.
Yeah.
That's kill the main one.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But they don't all die then.
Yeah, so he had some. It wasn't meningitis, but he had some kind of brain
swelling disease. That was
brain disease.
We're all pretty sick here, sir, but we're gonna be okay.
Yeah, because 60% of the alien's body is brain.
Where's he from? I'm recognising everyone in this.
He
film.
looked like someone from Alien.
The general.
Aliens. I don't know.
Anyway.
It's an all-star cast. Right. Any memorable moments?
Well, you clearly want to talk about the finale.
Well, yeah. Just
I do have a memorable moment before we get to that.
Yes.
It did strike me as, like I say, it was kind of clearly of its time and a kind of cliches, good hair. But also when they first go to the site of the crash, and they're looking to investigate, and they turn up, and the locals have made this fake spaceship.
Yeah. Pretty impressive, really.
Yeah. The woman undoes her blouse, a couple of buttons, and goes up. And the way they figure out that something's afoot is she kind of goes, well, men always stare at my chest. So these guys are clearly not right, because not one of them tried to look at my boobs.
I missed that. That's great.
That was the scientific moment that matched the Crazy Eyes in the invasion film. It was brilliant. It was just like, well, nobody looked at my boobs, therefore they can't be men. I also quite like the Donald's idea of a fantasy, because once you've had this alien on you share the knowledge of everybody. So when she's taken, she understands the fantasies that Sam has had about her.
Yeah.
And they kind of have this. At the end of the film, where they've all been saved, they kind of have this, it's a little bit unfair because you know everything about me and I don't know anything about you, and kind of flirting. But Donald says to him, take her for a cup of coffee. Exercise a fantasy.
That's what my dad said to me, actually, the first day. Go on, son. Exercise a fantasy.
Have you got any more killer lines there, Win?
No. That was it.
All right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Shall we score it?
Okay.
All right. So performances, I'm going to give it a 9.
Jeez.
Yes.
6.
Christ. 6.
Effects.
5.
6.
9. Plot.
3.
10.
3.
Jesus. Plot 6.
3.
What?
Yours more on point. 3.
Rewatch factor.
2.
Right.
2.
10. Direction 8.
4.
4.
Cinematography 7.
5.
2.
Sound of music 4.
4.
4.
Hey, Yahtzee.
Oh, we all agree on something. Originality 5.
3.
5.
Enjoyability gets a big fat 10 from me. I can honestly watch this film right now again. I only saw it last week.
Brilliant. It gets a 5 from me because it was entertaining.
4.
Life changing 10.
0.
0.
James, stop pissing around, because this is actually going to trump some really good
I'm
films.
serious about this film. I think this is my favourite.
Listeners,
film
if you could see his eyes right now,
except for Baby House.
he means it.
doesn't
He means
really
it.
does.
Right. So let's add them up.
I can't add up, but I'm going to say 40.
No, add them up properly. Don't disparage this film.
I'm not disparaging.
There'll be a lot of people out there who really like this film.
Okay, I've added it up.
Right.
32.
32. Win.
38.
38. 82. Alright then, so he gets a movie lighthouse rating of 51%, which puts it above Fahrenheit 451, but below Blood Feast. I think you guys
Good.
scored that very
No, that's
No,
right.
I think that's probably
That's
about where I
right.
should
We've
sit.
got that in just right. We saved that, Winnie Bum. Naughty James. Naughty
Honestly,
James.
one of my favourite all-time films. Great film. Right, okay, so I think we talked enough.
Yeah, we have. Sorry, listeners.
It's my choice this week.
Oh,
it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm all fired up after Puppet Masters, so just be warned. I hope I get the gold ticket. That was
Right.
amazing.
Come on. Where's your ball bag of wonder?
Right, here it is. Oh, look.
I can only imagine it's been well rummaged.
Oh, look, somebody tied it up last time.
I feel like I've only been in your ball bag once.
You have.
It's not your turn.
You're picking.
I know, but I can't undo the knot.
Oh.
It is my turn, isn't it?
It is your turn, yeah.
Great.
Who did the knot?
Solo came out yesterday. I'm looking forward. I'm going to go and see that at some point soon. Solo. My expectations are low on Solo.
Solo.
53.
53 is coming of age films.
Ooh, and I know exactly mine. So coming of age, obviously I'm a boy,
You've
right?
got to choose two.
So I've done stuff to come of age. I know
Okay.
exactly that film.
I'll bit of research and then we'll.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Do it, and I'll get back to you. Okay, right, so what have you got? Win, your first one.
My first one actually has one of my favourite actors in it, a young Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm going to go Donnie Darko.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Laurie?
Mine's got one of my favourite actors in it. David.
You'll just say that 'cause he said it.
David Soul, otherwise known as Hutch.
Nice.
Yeah. Salem's Lot. So, from the perspective, okay, coming of age, you're going to be like, what are you talking about? The name of the character of the boy, the one that's obsessed about horror, makes
Yeah,
models.
Mike.
What's his name? Mike.
I think it's like...
It's basically him. So at the end of the film, he's come of age, basically, in the context that he's in. So Salem's Lot.
No, I like that. Yeah, definitely. Win.
Second one is Pan's Labyrinth.
Okay.
That's a good film.
Yeah, and...
Me, this Laura Palmer's. She's kind of already come of age, but you know there is definitely that sort of transition into death and how that happened. Fire Walk with Me, Twin Peaks.
Right, well, guys, can I commend you on all choices, because I love all of these films. So it's going to be very difficult to kind of choose. But I feel that we've...
Don't feel like you have to share the honour.
But also don't feel you have to alienate our listeners.
No, none of them would.
I'm joking.
I'm going to go with Donnie Darko and Salem's Lot.
Oh,
okay.
Okay,
Nice.
because I think they'll contrast quite nicely with each other. We haven't done any Stephen King yet, so I think it's a good opportunity to look at Stephen King with Salem's Lot. And also, we haven't done anything that's kind of recent, so that's why I chose Donnie Darko.
Okay.
And can I say, to my current shame, I've never seen Salem's Lot.
Good man.
And
this time, do it
I'll just
away
watch it.
from your chart.
I'll just watch it.
No pens.
Okay.
And this time, let's all watch the films before we do the podcast, yeah?
That sounds like a good idea, that.
Right.
Yeah.
All right then, so that's it. We'll see you all next month.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Don't forget, if you've got any comments...
Yeah, definitely. Email us at themovielighthouse@gmail.com. Facebook at Movie Lighthouse, Twitter at Movie Lighthouse.
And Instagram at The Movie Lighthouse.
Yeah, and please can you give us a review and rate us on iTunes because it really helps people to find us. Go on, do it now.
And if you've got any films or premieres you want to invite us to review your movies.
These two are ready to go. Just give them a bowl of whiskey.
Look, I'm going back again to Blade Runner Secret Cinema because I loved it so much.
It's going to be the same output. It's going to be the same outcome.
I'll try my best.
Can't wait. All right, that's it. See you later.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.